Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us at Sacred Paths Yoga. My name is Lacey and I have a balancing practice to share with you today. Find your energetic equilibrium with this practice that explores yin and yang energies. We will find balance through active strengthening asanas and receptive softening ones to find our center. So let's begin. I invite you to come to a comfortable seated position wherever that may be for you. You can sit your hips up on a bolster or a block or a cushion. It could be kneeling or in a chair. But finding a position that allows balance in the body. A balance between actively lengthening upwards as well as softening the places that need it. The shoulders, the hips, the toes. So feeling into that and adjusting as needed till you find your center. A posture that's alert yet relaxed. Maybe you close your eyes down to feel more deeply into your internal experience. You feel the strength of our core helping support the lift and length of the spine. We invite the shoulders to release away from the ears, the chest to open. And tuning into the rhythm of your breath. And this is the point from which we can really cultivate a sense of balance. Balance between inhaling and exhaling. Of receiving and giving. We want our breath to be in balance. So exhaling completely, exhaling as much as you inhale. So beginning in your natural rhythm and then adjusting as you need to till you find that place of balance within the breath. And noticing your natural tendency, whether that's withholding or giving too much. You can adjust it here within our breath cycle. And allow that sense of balance to extend into other areas of our lives. Let's take 5 more rounds here. A balanced inhale and exhale. We find balance between controlling the breath, staying active within our breath cycle, and allowing the mind and the body to find stillness. So let's take this breath with us as we begin our movement practice. You can find your way to all fours, coming into tabletop at the top of your mat. We'll spread your fingers nice and wide. Press the tops of the feet down. Take a big inhale. Lift the heart up, lift the tailbone up, coming into cow pose. Exhale, push the earth away. Draw the navel up and in for cat pose. And again, long extended exhale, stretch the front of the body. Exhale, round the spine, expanding the back body. And again, breath remains balanced. So inhale long, lift the tailbone, lift the heart. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest. So continue breathing and letting the movement follow the breath. So as we slow and lengthen the breath, the movements too become slow, maybe exaggerated as we create more space in the body. And just a few more rounds of breath. If you want to move in other directions, feel free to explore here. We want to really warm up the spine for our practice. Making sure we move in all directions, exploring the possibilities here, our range of motion. And then coming back to neutral tabletop as you're ready. Take an inhale. Curl your toes under. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll take about 10 breaths here, so we have some time to warm up. Our first downward dog, moving right into an active practice. If you ever hear a teacher say downward dog is a resting pose, it is not. Our whole body's working here. Actively stretching, strengthening, lengthening, and we find a breath that supports that. So making sure you breathe deeply and fully here. Maybe requiring a little more effort now that we're inverted. So adjusting as you need to. So warm up our breath and warm up our body. Just moving into all the small places. And balancing out your warm-ups, we can make our way back to neutral downward facing dog. Fingers spread nice and wide. Lengthening the spine, engaging the belly, lifting the hips up towards the sky. Heels are heavy towards the earth. It's okay if they don't reach the ground, but energetically that's where they're going. If you feel any rounding in your lower back, you can take a little bend in the knees here. This will help create more length for the spine. Another breath in. Full breath out. Take a slow walk up towards our hands. Make our way to standing forward fold at the top of the mat. Feet can be hip distance, knees softly bent. Upper body hangs heavy. If you like, you can take opposite elbows here, just gently. A little movement side to side. See how that feels. Give your head a couple shakes. I'm just letting it all go for a moment. Release your elbows. Keep the knees bent. Slowly on your inhale, roll the spine up one vertebra at a time. And take time. Maybe it takes a couple breaths to reach Tadasana, standing mountain pose. We give our shoulders a nice big shrug up to the ears, roll them down the back. Let the palms face open. Feet can be hip distance or big toes touching. Breathe in and out. So rebalancing the breath if you've lost it somewhere along the way already. We want to find a strong, balanced breath to carry us through our sun salutations. Be doing 3 rounds of Surya Namaskar A. Let's take an inhale together and an exhale. Another breath like that. Follow my cues if you regularly practice Surya Namaskar A. If you have other variations in your practice, feel free to move through those. Last breath in together and out. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky, gaze up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway and lengthen, heart forward. Exhale, plant the hands down, step or hop back to plank or straight into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we have 5 breaths here. To tune back into the quality of breath, bring it into balance. Let that be your focus point. So
the mind can slow down, start to clear away all the thoughts, finding a place of center, of stillness within. And last breath in, full breath out. Inhale, come up onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Inhale to the top of your mat with a halfway lift, heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, standing forward fold. Ground through the feet. Inhale, engage the belly, rise all the way up with a flat back, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands through center, Tadasana. Breathe in and out. Inhale, arms circle up, gaze follows, heart lifts. Exhale, hinge forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, tailbone back, heart forward. Exhale, hands down, step or hop back, lowering through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, lift the heart, relax the shoulders. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. So we adjust our breath as we land here, back to balance. Adjust your downward facing dog. Notice if it's changed, if there's room to expand, or if you need to back out a little bit to reconnect with your breath. Option to always come to child's pose. And last breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, come up onto your toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Inhale, step or hop up to your hands, halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive all the way up to extended mountain pose, arms up. Exhale, realigning through center, Tadasana, mountain pose. Breathe in and out. Last one, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, standing forward fold, coming down. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, hands to the earth, step hop or walk back through plank, lowering to chaturanga or your variation. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Always returning to that place of center, the breath. Whenever you're feeling distracted, not present, simply notice your inhale, your exhale to bring you back to center, to balance, to stillness. Let's take one more breath in, full breath out, and prepare to transition. Inhale, come up onto your toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Inhale, step or hop up to your hands, lift up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rising up all the way to extended mountain pose. Exhale through center, Tadasana, releasing the hands down by your sides. Breathe in and out. On your inhale, we'll come to chair pose, Utkatasana, sink the hips down and back. So the weight's in the heels here and into the hips. So lightness in your toes. And we're keeping the heart lifted here. So if you notice the chest dipping forward a little bit, back out a little bit. You can take out some of the bend in the knees, lengthen the tailbone down, sink more weight back into the heels. Keep the core engaged, the heart lifted, energy up through the fingertips. Let's take one more breath in
One more breath out, sinking a little lower. Inhale, re-extend the legs, lengthen all the way up, gaze at the fingertips. Exhale, standing forward fold.
Coming down. Whew, maybe a big sigh here. Feeling all of that strengthening, that activity, that yang energy at play, carrying us through this dynamic part of our practice. And staying active here too in our standing forward fold, deepening our experience here. We can shift the weight into the balls of the feet, lift the hips, spiral the inner thighs towards each other to make space in the lower back. We'll take just a couple more breaths. Last breath in together. Exhale, releasing, softening. On your next inhale, we'll slowly roll up. Head, neck, and shoulders heavy. Take your time. Exhale, release the shoulders down, roll them back, and come back to Tadasana, standing mountain pose. We'll prepare now for our balancing asana poses. So you can bring your feet hip distance apart. Start to shift all the weight into the left foot, into the left leg. So spread your toes nice and wide there. Imagine the energy going down into the earth like you're growing roots to stay connected and balanced. With an inhale, we'll bring the right knee into your chest. Exhale, interlace the hands around the shin. It's okay if you wobble and come out. We just come right back into it. Noticing where our mind is, if we can bring it back to center. Noticing where our breath is, if that'll help us stay present, rooted, grounded. You can stay right here. Or if you'd like, you can take your left hand to your left hip and gently guide your right knee open to the right. So coming into a gentle hip opener here. Keeping the shoulders softening down, the heart lifting. A lot to consider here when we're balancing on one leg, how everything's working together to keep us balanced. When you're ready, bring the right foot into the inner left thigh for tree pose. So imagine hugging everything to the midline. So the right foot's pressing into the inner left thigh, the left thigh's pressing into the inner right foot equally. And the palms can come together in front of the heart. Palms pressing in towards each other, equal and balanced. And staying steady by way of your breath, just a couple more cycles here. Good, breathe in and out. Last breath, if you'd like to reach your arms all the way up, just exploring your own expansion. And just as carefully releasing the right foot from the left thigh, and we'll give our left leg a little shake, releasing all of that strength and stability that we've cultivated there, and letting it go soft. We'll do the same thing on the right side. So shift your weight into your right leg, spread your toes, press down through the foot. Inhale, we'll bring the left knee into your chest, interlace the hands around the shin as you exhale. So keeping the chest lifted here, the left foot's flexed. Imagine too that you're standing on the left foot. That'll help us stay balanced. Okay, from here you may stay or bring your right hand to your right hip and gently guide your left knee open.
Tailbone lengthens down, heart lifts up. So feeling these opposing energies working in harmony. And carefully from here, bringing it all together, sealing the left foot to the inner right thigh. Bring your hands together in front of the heart center. And breathe. Imagine roots growing down through your right foot. And bringing in more stability, more strength. And if you'd like to grow your branches upward, you may reach your arms up to the sky, reaching up through the fingertips. We'll breathe in together. And carefully exhale, releasing the left foot. And we'll give the right leg a little shake, stretch out the toes, the ankle, the calf. Good. And we'll come back to the top of your mat if you're not already there. Take one big inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, we'll fold forward. Moving now into our more yin part of our practice, this more softening, receptive energy. Let's bring the feet wider, hip distance or even more. We'll bend the knees quite a lot and take your elbows. We'll move into what we call in the yin practice, dangling pose. So nothing to do here except receive. Just letting it all hang out. Our spine can naturally decompress. Backs of our legs can soften. Again, keeping the knees quite bent to protect the lower back. And start to slow the breath down. We'll hold here for 5 more long breath cycles. If your elbows are bound, you can now release them. Plant the palms into the earth. Step back to plank pose. Let's take one inhale here. Exhale, lower your knees down and release the hips to the heels for child's pose. Okay, so we'll stay in child's pose for several breaths, a couple minutes. So just taking your time to release yourself completely to this position, releasing yourself completely to the earth, allowing this yin energy to be embodied, this energy of softening, of receiving, of not doing. So whole upper body is soft, head, neck, and shoulders release, belly goes soft, and we breathe. And from here,
Start to walk the hands in towards the knees and roll the spine up one vertebra at a time. And shift the hips to one side and swing the legs around. And we'll prepare for what we call in our yin practice caterpillar pose. So similar to seated forward fold, except we are in this more receptive energy. So not actively stretching or lengthening, but simply folding in and softening. So here we keep the knees quite bent. The feet are gently flexed. We'll take an inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, folding the body over the legs. We come down. So we can drape the belly over the thighs, just allowing the whole upper body to soften, head, neck, and shoulders release completely. It's okay for a little rounding in the upper back. We'll hold here for a couple minutes. So resisting the urge to do, to move, to actively lengthen or stretch in this shape. We're simply doing our work by receiving, by cultivating stillness, by being receptive. Always coming back to your breath if you've lost it. Allow that to be your anchor to stillness. And cultivate a balanced inhale and exhale. Allow that to settle any discomforts, any churnings of the mind. And 3 more breaths here. And giving that exhale completely. Receiving the inhale, we'll slowly roll up the spine one vertebra at a time. Being tender with your transition. And then scooting the hips up to the heels, coming to the top of your mat. Holding onto your shins. Let's just take one big inhale, lift the heart up, release the shoulders down the back. And then exhale, round the spine and release your forehead to your knees or towards your knees. We'll stay here for just a few breaths. Allowing the spine to round, neck and shoulders to soften. And finding release in the inaction. And simply being in this shape and breathing. Exhale, let it go.
Inhale, come back up through center, find a tall spine. Reach your arms forward, and exhale, we'll come down to our backs. You can take this active journey down or release your elbows behind you and gently support yourself in your release down. Extend the arms and legs out. A moment to soften into the earth, feel supported and held. We'll take an inhale, reach the arms overhead, point the toes. And exhale, bring the right knee into your chest and release the hands around the shin. Just give it a little hug in towards your chest, or maybe slightly over to the right, more towards the shoulder. You can explore a little bit of movement here. And then as you're ready, releasing the right knee completely open to the right. Allowing the left hand to come to the left hip, softening it to the earth, allowing it to remain connected. And hold here for a few breaths. And just noticing now how this shape is similar to our standing balance pose that we practiced earlier in class. But how here we're completely soft, completely receptive. No need to be engaged. There's no strain or resistance. Just giving yourself permission to let go. Breathe in and out. The inhale brings the right knee back into your chest. Exhale, cross it over the body, coming into supine twist. So the left hand can stay on the outer right thigh, helping to guide it closer to the earth. The right arm can extend out like a T or a cactus. Wherever you are, allow the shoulders to soften completely. The chest to open, to broaden. The space to be filled with breath, with heart-centered energy. And then finding what's comfortable for your gaze, for your head. To the left, neutral, or towards the right. We'll hold here for a few more moments. Softening into that knowing that there's nowhere to go. Simply be wherever you are and breathe. Breathe in. Full exhale. Inhale, bring the right knee back into your chest. Give it another squeeze in to neutralize, to come back to center. And then exhale, release the right leg to meet the left. Inhale, extend the arms overhead, point the toes. Exhale, bring the left knee into your chest. And release the hands around the shin, give it a squeeze. Maybe shifting a little to the left. Exploring, warming up the hip. And then when you're ready, releasing the left knee over to the left. Right hand can come on top of the right hip. Gently softening it down, but without any force. So
Breathing into the deepening rather than actively moving there. See if we can create space with our breath, more ease with our breath, less resistance. And breathe in and out. Inhale, brings the left knee back into the chest. Exhale, cross it over the body, rolling onto the right hip. Left knee comes over to the right. Right hand guides it down. Left arm extends out wherever feels comfortable so that the chest can soften. The back of the heart can begin to melt down towards the earth, maintaining our connection there. This connection of nourishment, of support. Keep the breath full in the belly. We'll hold a couple more moments. Breathe in. Fully breathe out. Inhale, we'll bring the left knee back into the chest. Exhale, give it one more squeeze in. And then release it back down to the earth. Take one big full body stretch. Inhale, arms overhead, point the toes. Exhale, bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And then take your knees in a couple circles in each direction. Give your lower back a little massage here. It probably feels really good. Just ironing out any last areas of tension or holding. And then coming back to neutral as you're ready. We'll take one more active shape here. Apanasana, hugging the knees tightly into the chest. You can lift your forehead up to your knees, getting nice and tight and small. Take one more big inhale here. And then exhale, release it all into Shavasana. Extending the arms and the legs. Palms facing up. Feet gently falling out, softening. And the ultimate posture to bring balance and harmony into our practice and into our lives. So after all our activity, our doing, we land here in the undoing. Letting go of movement of both body and mind. Allowing our thoughts to cease. Allowing our body to soften and receive the gifts of our practice. So, everything settling fully into the earth. Breath returning to its natural rhythm. Nothing left to do, just be. Slowly returning to the rhythm of your breath. Noticing its movement back through your body. Re-energizing your body after this state of deep rest. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, stretch the arms overhead and point the toes, filling up with a big inhalation. Exhale maybe with a sigh as you bring the knees into your chest. You can roll over to one side, keeping your eyes closed, your head supported. And taking your time to transition mindfully back up to seated. As much time as you need to arrive back to where we began. Yet noticing any shifts, any changes in your body, your mind, your energy. Hopefully returning to equilibrium, to center, a more balanced state due to your energy and efforts of this practice. So a moment to thank yourself for doing the work, for showing up, fully receiving all of the benefits, and taking the stillness with you as you move into the rest of your day. Let's breathe in together, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Join your palms, exhale, realigning body, breath, and spirit, staying balanced and leading with the heart. Thank you so much for your practice. Namaste.